It's an absolute lie that if the Bank of Canada reduces interest rates either next week or next month, that this will be a good thing for the real estate market. And if more rate cuts do happen, that the result will be the market coming back. And only rate cuts can be the catalyst to make both sales and prices return. That's right, it's a lie that the media and real estate organizations and even real estate agents like to push out as some sort of false narrative about how the real estate market really works, in what appears to be some sort of desperate attempt to pump FOMO into a market that is the slowest that we have seen since the great financial crisis. And I'm going to share the truth with you today right after I ask you to subscribe to the channel for honest real estate perspectives like this one. And if you wouldn't mind clicking the like button, it would really help me get this video out to more people just like you that are trying to navigate the market. And don't forget that if you do need help in my market of Surrey and the Fraser Valley, well, you can book a call with me right now using the first link in the description below at a time that works best for you. So let's discuss this lie about the market that you just keep hearing all over the place. Every time the Bank of Canada makes a decision about the overnight interest rate, which happens usually 8 times per year, realtors all over social media and the big real estate companies, they send out press releases that plug the narrative that this is finally the one thing that we've all been waiting for that will return the market back to these crazy times that we remember from, say, 2015 through 2021. But it's just not true. First off, let's talk about the absolute obvious. Rate cuts started from 5% to 4.75% in June of 2024, followed by 6 more rate cuts in a row, totaling cuts of 2.25% to an overnight rate that dropped as low now as 2.75% in March of this year, when rate cuts suddenly stopped. Since then, seemingly the economy and inflation both feel like they are getting worse, and house prices in most markets, definitely, including my local market here outside of Vancouver, well, they have dropped as well. Which leads me to the question, if the previous 7 rate cuts for an equivalent of 9 quarter-point cuts didn't help house prices, what on earth makes you think that the next cut will be the one thing that finally turns this market around? Why would adding 1/10 of the total cuts that have already happened finally be the straw that broke the camel's back? Or, I guess to use a better analogy, why would it be this crack that finally broke the dam of house sales? Second, take a moment to ask yourself why interest rates come down in the first place. The only reason the Bank of Canada even considers decreasing rates is technically because inflation has fallen and rates are the only tool that they have in order to help battle that inflation. But in reality, the only reason they're decreasing rates seemingly is that the economy is continuing to do worse. Of course, this is basically the same thing because lowering rates will eventually spur on the economy as borrowing becomes cheaper and businesses and things like real estate markets benefit from lower rates. But if they are lowering rates, that means the economy isn't doing great right now. And the economy not doing well is what truly is resulting in real estate also not doing well. As people are scared for their jobs, they start to rein in their spending, and that means house prices are likely to drop. So in other words, rate cuts equals lower prices for housing. In fact, if rates go up or down, they only do so in times of uncertainty, and both result in home prices dropping. Like in 2022, when rates went up, and now again in 2025, as rates are coming down. And really, only after the rates stay flat for a period of time can we have prices stabilize, and most price increases only happen in times of certainty, and that means certainty in interest rates. And last, rate cuts made by the Bank of Canada only affect mortgages with variable rates. In Canada, most mortgages being signed today by new home buyers are either 3 or 5-year fixed rate mortgages. And fixed rate mortgages are not determined by the Bank of Canada's overnight rate, but rather something called the bond market. This is an open market of rates decided by people and institutions buying government bonds based on their prospective returns in the future, and not related to central bankers like our Governor of the Bank of Canada, Tiff Macklem, making decisions based on what statistics have happened in the past or where they think the economy may be going in the future. So as a result, I'm asking for your help. If you could please help me stop this whole fascination with spreading this idea that the next interest rate cut will help the real estate market, I would really appreciate it, because it's a lie. The truth is that over time, as rates come down or as they stay the same, the market eventually will come back to historical averages in sales, and prices at some point will go up. But the reason for that is actually cyclical, and there will at some point be a strengthening in the economy, higher employment, and confidence that things are not going to get worse. If you are looking to purchase real estate, this is not the type of market right now to speculate on price appreciation. Today's market is for people who have a reason to move. Purchasers these days are moving to new cities for a new job. They're leaving their old cities maybe for a slower pace of life, or they have some sort of other need like buying their first place and wanting to become a homeowner, or getting a bigger property so they can start a family. And sellers in today's market, please stop waiting for the next Bank of Canada interest rate cut so you can hope for an increase in the price of your home because you can't get what you want for it today. This is not a let's give it a try type of market. Sellers need to get serious and realize that prices of last spring or last year, well, they're long gone. And the feeling in the market is that they likely will not return for years. If you found this video because you are a frustrated seller in this marketplace right now and you just can't figure out how to get your home sold, check out this video right now to discover what you need to know and what your agent should be telling you.